Hello, all you cats and kittens. Are you ready to paint Apollo the cat? Well, thank you for joining me, and we are going to paint my son's kitten, or it's actually a full grown cat today, and his name is Apollo, of course, hence the name. So, in your downloads on my Patreon account, Wild Thing Art Academy, is the templates and the reference photo. So you will have this template and this reference photo, which is a photo that my son took, and he was in a plastic bag. So in order to create less confusion for the eye, I took out the background and I took the colors and saturated them a lot so we can get some more colors out on him, because this is Wild Thing Art Academy and I like lots of colors, and I like to use some of the natural colors that are naturally bouncing off of the cats, in this particular instance the cat, or in any animal's fur. I want to get the color reflections bouncing off, so I'll saturate those colors. So this is our reference photo. It's available in your downloads. And if you want to know how to transfer your image onto your canvas, in collections under fundamentals, there is a video that shows you exactly how to do it, called of all things, how to transfer your image onto the canvas. Original, right? So let's get started. I am painting Apollo on just a simple canvas board. You can use whatever you want to use, whatever medium you want to use. Just make it your own. So take a nice deep breath and then exhale. And as you exhale, I want you to just release all the tension from your body. Let it all go. Now, the other thing I want you to let go as you continue to breathe and relax any tense muscles is I want you to think that this is going to be enjoyable. So make it your mission statement. You're going to enjoy this, and you're going to let go of that inner critic inside, because we all have it, and that's the thing that will sabotage your art the fastest, is that inner critic. So let that inner critic go. We're going to give permission for our inner artistic spirit to come out and play. And so what that artistic spirit wants to do today, I want you to allow that to happen. So let that come out and play today, and let go of any preconceived ideas of what you think Apollo should look like. If you are painting Apollo in the colors of your cat, if you happen to have a cat, by all means do so. Just happy you're joining me today, so thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Are you ready? Or we want to go, yes, we want to go, yes, are you ready? There we go. So let's get started. So we're going to start with going ahead and outlining in the Wild Thing Art Academy stylistic manner. We're going to outline him in magenta. So grab a liner brush. I'm going to use this little liner brush here. Put my little handy dandy glasses on that are really dirty. I clean them, and we're going to, I'm wetting down my brush, and I'm going to dip it right into the magenta, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start covering these lines. Now, if you want to freehand your cat onto the canvas or whatever surface you're working on, by all means, go for it. And we're just going to cover up all the graphite lines. And so why do I do this? I do this because it adds interest to the painting, in my opinion. So if these lines are peeking through, it just adds more interest in colors. I'm going to make this a little bit fluffy there. Okay, just checking. I'm live on YouTube, so if you're watching this later pre-recorded on my Patreon account, and I'm saying stuff that I don't normally say, like this is live on YouTube. I'm recording this live on YouTube. Let me get a hair right on my brush. Oh, and I didn't say the colors I was using. So I'm using quinacridone magenta. It's Golden Brand. I'm using Golden Brand phthalo blue, red shade. I'm using Liquitex brand Indian Yellow. And I'm using Liquitex brand Titanium White. That right there, by the way, is a shadow on his eye that I just want to make sure I get in. It's just a shadow reflection. That I want to make sure I get in. I'm looking here. Okay. Usually it tells me how many viewers I've got watching, but it's not telling me today, which is fine. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment area. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Like, why do you use crazy colors? That sort of thing. I use crazy colors because I love colors. My thinking is that if you want a realistic painting, now with Wild Thing Art Academy, it's all about trying to capture the animal's spirit or their essence, if you would. But adding life with color and I always think, well, if you want a realistic painting done in photorealism, which by the way I love, so nothing against anyone who paints realism. That's beauty all in itself. But I say, well, if you want to paint realism, just take a photo. If you want art, let your inner artistic muse come out and play, all the while trying to capture the spirit of that animal in your painting. Oh, and I don't think I finished saying what colors I'm using. The other color I'm using, my main colors, is Liquitex Mars Black. And so this is a black cat. So black is typically a little bit more difficult to paint, and in my opinion, excuse me, than all the other colors, just simply because black seems to not reflect light as well, so it's harder to get all the pops of colors. However, when my son took the photo of his cat, he captured a lot of light on that cat. I don't know if he had the flash on when he took it, and that created the pops of interesting color in his fur. So we'll see how this turns out. Again, no preconceived ideas. I just want it to become whatever it needs to become. Because your painting is as unique as your thumbprint. So whatever you put on canvas, it will not look like what I put on canvas. And that is a good thing, right? The one thing that, and I've taken a lot of college art classes, and again, not anything wrong with that, but they try to give you a set of rules. And I believe that art, there is no rules. Break all the rules. This is your time to break the rules. And again, usually I can see if there's people watching, but for whatever reason, it is not showing that. It just says I'm live, so, and that's all right. I'll just continue on. If you want more of these, I have plenty of classes uploaded in my Patreon page. You can go to patreon.com/Wild Thing Art Academy, and there you'll find lots of classes. There's dogs, cats, more cats, and some exotics, a zebra, giraffes, elephants. Okay, so clean out your brush. And if you're already a Patreon Wild Thing Art Academy member, thank you. I'm hoping you're creating beautiful paintings. Please upload your paintings. I'd love, love, love to see the paintings that people do. It makes me very happy. So I'm going to grab this brush. It's a number 4, Princeton Dakota Filbert. And I'm going to wet this down. And we're going to cover practically the whole thing in blue. So what I'm going to do, what I'm trying to do here is, he is black all over. So we're going to go ahead and cover this little cat in this blue. And the black ears. And he has black fur that comes up here, so I'm going to go ahead. So anywhere there's black, I am filling in. Now I'm seeing some warm shadows in this cat as well, so I'll be going back in and putting those in. If you hear a funny noise in the background, and I'm also going to cover those eyes with this phthalo blue. And if you follow me at all, you know that I always put the eyes in blue because it creates depth once I start putting the color on. And his whole nose is black. So this cat has just everything about him's black. Oh, my horses, I can see, I'm looking out my window, my horse is up there. She's so pretty. My horse, I'm upstairs, and I can see out into the field, and my horse is looking at something. She's interested in something out there. I love my horse. I'll be doing a lot more horse paintings as well. So if the sound is a little off, I apologize. My microphone hit the dirt. And I need to get another microphone, so I'm streaming on my I wish I could show you my lady horse standing out there. So cute. She's amazing. Now she's just watching traffic go by. She must be a little bored today. Yesterday I took her to an arena and rode her, and I thought I'd give her a break today because she might be a little bit sore from riding, but she looks like she's wanting to get into something out there. All right, we got this cat. Basically, that's a lot of hair right there that's covering that area. Basically filled in. So I am seeing some warm areas in this cat, mainly those areas. Of course, ears are warm pink, but I'm seeing some warm areas. And I'm going to go ahead and, while this paint is wet, I'm going to go ahead and put in, and it kind of turns this a lavender, which I really like. And there's some right up here above the eye and around the eye. Oh, if you're hearing a funny noise, I think I started to say something about it and got distracted with my horse outside. My dog, I have an elderly dog. He is a Lhasa and he is snoring beside me, so. And I'm just looking at the photo, and so he's making funny noises, what I'm trying to get at. So I'm just looking at this photo here and seeing areas that have warm shading. Put in all the cool shading, and of course it was everywhere because this cat is black. She just took off her running. My horse did. I love watching her out in the field. And there's some warm areas under here. And right in that area there. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating interest in colors and kind of giving myself a guide as to where I want to place the colors. My dog is really snoring away. So if you're hearing some weird little groaning noises, that would be him. All right, let's go up here. And there's some lavender. Again, this is just the magenta that is turning lavender because I'm putting it right on top of wet blue. That's really lavender right here. I'm going to go ahead and fill this whole ear in. And same with this one. That way we got the whole canvas covered and we can get right on into those eyes. All right, and what I'm going to do is wipe my brush out, and I'm going to go ahead and apply some darker pink in these ears. Same with this over here. I'm going to clean my brush out. We're going to let that set up, and in the meantime, we're going to go and work on the eyes. Wish I could see how many people's watching. I don't know why my settings changed where I can't see that. Okay, well, it's just not letting me see. And that's okay. If you have any questions, I'm probably, because I can't see who, how many people are watching, again, feel free to put them in the comments, and I will be glad to answer them when I am done if I don't see them in the meantime. All right, I'm cleaning my brush out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get a small brush. This is a small flat brush. And I'm going to go ahead and get my brush a little bit wet. And I also, in my water, I have a thing called wetting agent. It's the golden wetting agent. It's just seems to make the paint flow a little bit better off of my brush. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put these pupils in black. And the thing I like about when I put the blue on is it kind of peeks through that black. Makes it, the black, not so flat. All right, so we got the pupil in. Again, when I work eyes, I work and rework. Eyes are, to me, one of the most important things of that pet. So this little guy, Apollo, has yellow eyes with some green around the centers, which is just gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make sure this is dry enough, because if I put the yellow on top of that blue, it will turn it green, and I'm not ready, even though he has green. Oops, I don't have my brush cleaned out good enough. And I'm not quite ready to put the green in. I'd rather put the yellow in and put the green on top of it. All right, so I cleaned out my brush. I'm grabbing the Indian yellow, some white, making a lighter yellow. And it will look differently once I put it on top of this blue. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right on top here. Same with this eye. I'm liking that color. Pardon me. So just being careful, and I'm not too worried about the pupils right now because I always go in and rework those pupils. So right now I'm just trying to get the color combination correct, and I'm taking out some of those brush strokes that I have in there because I don't want brush strokes in the eye. At this point there'll be and see that blue is peeking through underneath that yellow, and so now we're going to make a little bit of green. So I'm going to take that color I just made, the light yellow, and I'm going to mix it with some blue, see what color we come up with, and that's looking pretty good. the green color. I want a little bit of white, a little more white in it. Yeah, that's a pretty good green color. And I'm going to go ahead and place that right around. Oh, looks like a little green right there. A little green right here in that corner. And again, there's a shadow over that, but I want to work on the eyes a little bit more before I put any of that in there. Now I only want to pop in, I always love putting fluorescence in the eyes. I believe I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. I usually wait till I'm more done. I'm going to use Liquitex Fluorescent Yellow. And let's see, I've got a vivid lime green. It's just a Master's Touch acrylic vivid lime green. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my palette as well. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this. Some touches of it right there near his pupil. Okay, I'm going to clean that, just dry cleaning the brush off. By that I mean I'm simply wiping it off on my paper towel, and then I'm going to go in and add some green. Okay, that's looking better. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go back into the pupil, and I'm going to darken it just a touch, and I'm going to blur the edges just slightly. So it's not such a crisp, sharp line. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to outline those eyes in black, and I'm just going to take the same brush I was using I'm going to use the edge of it to do the eyeliner and outline these eyes here. Okay. Now we're going to go in and I'm going to take some of the straight Indian yellow and I'm going to warm up these eyes just a touch right in here. I'm going to dry off my brush, and by that I mean just simply taking it through my paper towel and wiping off the excess paint, and then softening the hard edges between the color. Just kind of dabbing it just a bit here. Okay, we're getting a little closer. As I'm looking at when I look up, I can see things. I've got my painting flat, and I see I've got a little bit of a distortion of this left eye. Open that up just a bit because it's a little bit more round than what I'm showing there. So I'm going to open that up just a bit. And same with the top area right in there. And I also have it too pointy at that end, so I'm going to take my black and adjust that. That's a little better. He's got rounder eyes. And kind of same with this one as well, just a little rounder. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead, still seeing a distortion of that eye. I think I need to, and there's a shadow over that I need to lay in. But I want to make sure the eyes are correct. I think I need to open it up just a bit. Right in there. Oh, I see where it's at. Okay, sometimes it takes a little bit, but I'm seeing where the discrepancy is. It is mainly right in that bottom area right there, so I need to fill that in just a bit. too almond shaped there. There, that's better. And then let's open up this outer edge just a bit. So I'm cleaning my brush. I'm going to take some of this warm yellow and open up this outer edge right here. And that's a little better. All right, I'm going to go back in and add some of this light yellow, but I'm going to mix the fluorescent yellow with some white. See what we come up with here. Well, let me warm it up just a touch. So we got this like real lemony cool yellow and then this Indian yellow that's warm. So I'm trying to find a happy medium between the two. It's a little too much paint on my brush here. And just some areas where the yellow is catching light. And then I'm going to dry off my brush on the paper towel and kind of blend that in just a touch. My paint's kind of drying just a little bit, so I want to, there we go. Added just a little water to my brush to kind of make that blend a little bit more. Okay, we're getting there. So then there is this wonderful shadow across the eyes. And by that I mean right here, those shadows right there. So I want to create that shadow. And I think I want to do that in a lavender, but I want it to set up just a bit so I don't smear that lavender. So here's some of this purple that I made earlier with the magenta and the blue, and I'm going to simply go over that. Just like that. And same here. And I'm going to make a light blue to kind of complement that as well. So there is that shadow in his eye. Now I'm going to simply take my brush and soften that hard edge of that shadow. So there is that shadow in that eye there. Now I'm going to make up some highlights, and that would be with this light blue, and it needs to be a real light blue. So just a touch of blue, and we're going to create kind of a shadow, and it's going to, remember their eyes are round, so like that. And then I'm going to put some moisture in this cat's eyes simply by that. And same with this eye here. That. And then some more highlights right here. And we're bringing those to life. I like that little. Starting to come to life there. Okay, I'm getting pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dry off this brush, and I'm going to put the highlight. Now remember, I always go back in with fluorescence and add to the cat's eyes, but for right now I think I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and add the highlight. I'm taking the end of my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and dip it right in the white paint, and we're going to make that white highlight right there and right there in that cat's eyes. So now we've got a cat that is looking at us. So let's see what else we can get into. I'm drying off the paint off of the end of that brush. You know what? I'm going to add a little more white highlight to down here, right there, here, and right there. Yes. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to dry off my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and soften the edges of that white so it's not so harsh going into it. There. Okay, I'm happy with the eyes for right now, so we're going to leave that alone, and we're going to dive into, now we're going to dive into the black. So I cleaned off my brush, and I'm going to take a square brush. Let's see what I want to use. I'm going to use a big brush, so this big brush right here. And you know what? I didn't add his body in down here, so he's disconnected. It's like a floating head. So I'm going to go ahead and add just some artistic strokes down here just to see his body. So he's not floating here. All right, so now he's got a body. All right, so I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm drying it off, and we're going to go ahead and add the black in. So I'm going to go with this black straight, and I'm looking at areas that he is just black. There's no denying that black. And I'm just going to go ahead and start putting in the black area. So what I'm looking at is the definite black areas. And that blue will peek through under that black, which is why I put the black there in the first place. Now you want to think about the cat's anatomy while you're doing this, and think about where how is the hair growing, and you want to take that brush in that general direction of the hair growth. And we're just going ahead and putting black in. So anywhere you're seeing black, go ahead and put those in. So I'm using the big brush, but then I'll switch to wet that down so that I can get some of that blue peeking through that paint. And again, just some artistic strokes down there because we don't want to draw attention to the body. We just want to suggest it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add that in just for good measure. I am cleaning out my brush, and I think I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. And I'm going to go with my filbert brush. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work on those ears. So I'm seeing a lot of light blue and lavender. So, you know what? I think, yeah, I'm going to make me some lighter lavender here. I'm liking this pink, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in where I'm seeing this pink at. And then I am seeing not quite that light though, so I'm now I'm going to add some blue to that to make a lavender. And that was way too much blue, so let's purple that up with some pink. And I'm going to grab a little more white. And I want to pink that up just a touch more. And that's a little better. So let's see what we've got here. Yeah. And again, make some interesting marks. I'm seeing some lavender in these areas. And some lavender up here. actually I'm putting this light lavender in, but it actually is a lot darker, and there's a lot of blue showing through as well. So I will be going back and correcting that. Okay, let's see what else we can get into here. I'm cleaning my brush out. And make a darker purple, and I think I'm going to go into using dioxazine purple. This is Golden Brand dioxazine, purple dioxazine. I think this would be a good color on him. I'm going to put that right in here. It's a dark purple. And I'm seeing right here on this ear, that anatomy of that ear, trying to bring that out. Same with this side. I'm going to try to bring some of the anatomy of that ear out. Soften that edge there. And then going back down here. Now my dog is doing licking noises, so if you hear him, he's smacking. In case you're hearing odd noises. All right, now I want to go into some blue, and I'm going to just go ahead and go into straight phthalo blue. just putting in anywhere where I see peaks of blue. Okay. Now, let's go in and work on his nose. So I'm going to grab my smaller little square brush, this brush right here, and we're going to refine that nose just a bit. So I'm going to take some of this pink and I'm going to go in and refine this little nose right here, and it kind of goes up. Just like that. And then I'm going to dry my brush off, and I'm going to get into this black here and redefine his nose holes. And I'm getting my hand right into the paint. And that little line right here. And then because he's all black, we may have to go in and redefine some areas in a lighter color. And I'm seeing a lighter blue, which is dried up, so I'm going to make me some more light blue. Highlight right on the edge of this nose. So I'm kind of redefining his nose just a touch here with a lighter color. All right, that's a little bit of more definition here. And his chin is so, this is a hard photo to work from because there's really no lot of definition. So we're going to have to create that. With a lighter color. So we're just going to have to imagine some definition here. Seeing back in this area, I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm just kind of making him more of a black cat. So I'm putting in more touches of black. And again, thinking about your brush strokes. In the direction of the cat's hair. We've got some definition. I want to round this up just a bit. Okay, and then let's go ahead and I'm going to put in some, am I ready for that? No, I don't think so. I'm going to grab my bigger filbert brush, this one right here, and I'm going to go back in and really kind of darken up. I want him a little more black. And remember, don't forget to add some interesting marks there. So that's a good place for an interesting mark there. All right, let's go in back into, I'm going to do a fluorescent blue. So I'm taking that Liquitex fluorescent blue and we'll see what this does. Don't know if I'll like it or not, but let's give it a try. Never hurts. Kind of liking that color. Got some black in there. I want to clean up that. So I want a pure color. go back into the lavender, but this time I think I'm going to take that dioxine purple and add some white to it. See, just a little bit of again, I'm going to clean out my brush. I'm seeing more the warm light is coming from this direction and cool light is coming more from this direction. You know what, I'm going to go back and this blue here and emphasize that. Just a bit on that side, and then the warm light, which is like a yellow, the Indian yellow, but I want that to set up before I put any Indian yellow in it, because that will definitely turn greenish on me, and I don't want greenish, so I'm going to put some more warm yellows on this side of him. So for now, I think I'm ready to go into some fluorescence. And let's go into the pink for his ears. So I'm going to leave this. Just a touch, not much. I'm going to use my big filbert brush here. I'm going to add some fluorescent pink right into those areas right there in his ears. Just like so, and I think I'm going to pink up his nose just a touch. And just a little touch around his eyes. And a little bit in the shadow there. Let's soften that with my finger. Yeah, that's perfect. A little bit to define his Okay. So now we're going to go into trying to debate. I may just use the fluorescent orange instead of this warm yellow on the left side where the light is reflecting off the lights this side. Take a look and see what we come up with on that. So I'm going to put a little bit of the fluorescent orange here. Ooh, that's a lot, and you really can't see it. Let me scoot my palette over just a touch. There's the orange right there peeking through. So I'm using the Golden brand fluorescent orange, and it's right on this side of his face. And this color is the coolest color, and it just doesn't translate onto camera. You just don't see how really cool that is. And I love this orange so much. I'm just going to add a touch to his eye. Right here. And then I'm going to soften that just a touch. There, we've added a little fluorescence to his eye, which I'm not crazy about. After looking at it in the camera, I don't like that big, can't grab the right brush, that big orange spot right there. So I'm going to go ahead and green that back down just a bit. There, that's better. Yes, that's better. Break up that orange just a touch right there. I'm also seeing some of this golden color right here. And right on top of his head. Softening some of this harsh line right there. And add a little bit right there on this side. Just a touch of that on that side. And then let's go back into the blue to emphasize the shadows on that side. So I'm using the fluorescent blue mixed with white, and I'm just simply going to add just a touch of happy with it. It needs to be a little bit more blue, I believe. So I'm going to get into my phthalo blue and blue that up just a bit. Adding some hair lines to okay. Continuing to look and see, make sure I've got the whole cat in the kind of looking at the areas that I want to. So I'm taking my black and I'm going over some of this blue hard edge here. And making sure I got rounded cheeks. I'm just seeing where I'm looking into the camera because I can see a lot in that camera. That with my naked eye on them. Take out some of these streaks here. So as you can see, it's a lot of doing and redoing. Darken this area under his chin. There, let's soften that up a bit. clean that brush out and clean up his chin just a bit to re-emphasize that chin. I'm going to use lavender if I still have it. Yep, I still have it. And we're going to go up with that chin. I'm going to go in with the pink and I'm going to emphasize his little mouth there. Had a little too much water on my brush and it was diluting that more than I wanted it diluted. All right, so there are some greens in it, but I'm not sure that I want to add. Let's see what it looks like in. So you can always take it out. Let's go back in with the smaller brush here and take some of this lime green. And emphasize that nose just a touch. And I'm thinking that's about all I want to do with that lime green. All right, I think I'm going to go back into the black. I'm going to wet my brush down just a bit to make that paint flow just a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and re-emphasize the eye shape. Go back in and soften the harsh line. Sorry, I keep hearing a mini bike out there or something. I'm like, somebody pull up on a mini bike? All right, let's take a look. I still want to add thicker black. So a lot of times I add white, but I'm going to go with the black and thicken that paint up. So I don't know if you can see the texture on it. Black is just not the best in the world to show texture. All right, so let's pop in some white and cleaning my brush out. And I'm just going to take pure white on my big brush and add a little bit of that and to his nose there. And just kind of going around seeing where I had see highlights really hitting this cat and exaggerating that highlight. Okay, I think that's about all I want to do with that because he's a black cat. He has no white on him. I just wanted to catch light reflection. Like that right here. You know what, I'm not real happy with the shape of that nose, so I think I'm going to correct it, and I'm going to do pink to correct that. So that's a little better. And then I'm going to go back in, I'm drying my brush out, and then I'm just going to go back in with the black and redefine the nose there. Again, just drying off my brush, going back in with pink. Trying to decide if there's any before I add the whiskers in. And his whiskers are kind of a grayish color. So I'm going to go ahead and do black in the ears real quick. And I'm just taking my brush and I'm flicking it. So putting it on the canvas, and as you go out, you just flick, 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 if that makes sense. So lots of thick hair right here. And then again on the other side. Okay, let's go into a gray. So let's make a gray. I'm going to take some of this white and mix it with the black and see if we can't make some of these hairs stand out. And I've got a little bit, I like this light blue mixed in with it too. And I'm going to wet that down so it flows off the brush easy. I'm twirling the brush to make a, and then I'm going to go in here and do some little gray. And some over here as well. And then let's do some of these whiskers right here. Whiskers are cute. And then he's got lots of whiskers. Going all different directions. Some of these are definitely light blue looking, so I'm going to see if I can't capture that. All right. Let's see. I think he needs a few more little And they kind of go in a line like this around his little cheeks there. I am just taking a look at him to see if there's anything else I want to add before I say he's completed. I am thinking he might be done. I'm not seeing anything that stands out to me. I'm going to call him done. So I would say, look at your painting, take a nice deep breath, and then pat yourself on the back and go, great job. You just painted Apollo the cat. And black cats, if you painted yours black, they're hard to do because they're hard to capture with all these colors that you want to add to them and still maintain that they're a black cat. So you did awesome. If you're not sure about your painting, take a photo of it, because I've been looking into the camera and I see things in the camera that I don't see when I'm looking down at my painting, that if there's anything that stands out to you, you can correct it. Otherwise, again, remember the inner critic. Take away that inner critic, let it go. Don't let it tell you what to do. This is a time for your inner artist spirit to come out and create, let it play, create whatever you feel intuitively drawn to as far as colors. Then go for it, experiment with it, because you know what? This cat is a unique expression of you. You're showing the world how you see the world through your eyes. I see through bright, bold colors. If you want to pastel it down, you pastel yours down and show the world how you see things. So congratulations on finishing Apollo the cat. If you like this class and want to see more of them, I have plenty of animals in there and a lot more to come. Go to my patreon.com/Wild Thing, THANG, Art Academy. So I would love to have you join me. There's a 7-day free trial, less than a latte a month. Please click on it. You get a 7-day free trial, and I know you'll like it. And if you do, it's less than a latte a month with all access, no holds barred, any class you want to take in as frequently, as often as you want. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, and I will see you in the next class. Bye.